so I'm hoping, it seems like you already got the hang of it. You've been clapping pretty good this morning. You clap at everything this morning, so that's good. That's good, because I hope this sermon you will clap a lot, which is why I call it State of Our Union. You've been to State of the Unions, there's a lot of clapping. So I hope that you will clap with me and for us this morning. Last week we talked about a lot of our growing edges. This week we celebrate some of our accomplishments. And what I want to use this morning is our end statements. In our governance we have something called our end statements, and there are 5, but we really only have 4. The first one is our global ends. That is, what is our ultimate goal with each one of these end statements? But with the global ends, it says, what is the thing we ultimately want to accomplish? And the global end says that we exist to create the beloved community by inspiring and challenging all souls to live bold and compassionate lives. These end statements ask, what do we hope to be? And in the end, as a UU congregation in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, what are we doing when we're at our best? And these other 4 end statements kind of chime in with more questions. What is our goal with our faith development program? What is our goal with social and environmental justice? What is our goal with our relationship to the Unitarian Universalist Association and our UU faith? What do we ultimately see manifesting for our building and grounds and our finances? How can we create a sustainable ministry that lasts through the years? I will not answer those questions directly this morning. I want to talk about really what we've done and celebrate our work. And so I've mentioned our global end statement, and I have to say we have to think about that in terms of, what we haven't achieved. But this morning I want to talk about what we have achieved as a beloved community. And one of those things I want to acknowledge first is that we're back in church regularly on Sundays. Amen. Thank you to the reopening committee for all their hard work. Like never before, we realize that we need each other, that we need singing and laughter and praying, worshiping together. We cannot take these things for granted. And more than that, we have UV lights for added protection. And we have an online Zoom option for worship. We have expanded our reach and made ourselves better as a result of a bad situation. We make lemonade out of lemons. That's what we do. Becoming a beloved community also means becoming more welcoming and invitational. And I believe we're doing this, which is evidenced by our over 75 new members in the last 14 months. We are the right faith at the right time in history, and we have a very tenacious membership coordinator. We're happy to welcome all you new members and all of the returning members into our fold. I think Laura Schrank's nickname should be the MC. Under faith development, that we create meaningful opportunities for deepening spirituality for all persons within a safe and challenging environment. Let's celebrate that our children and youth are back in church. We lost almost all of our children during the pandemic when services were online, which made it difficult to maintain our faith formation program. It was a sad reality. In our pre-pandemic program, we had over 100 children and youth in our program. Lost almost all of them, but we persisted, we offered what we could, and I am pleased to say that we have over 100 kids registered today. We have been restored to health. Our Darwin Summer Camp, Camp Beagle, is still going and thriving despite setbacks. Registration is now open. We can be proud of that. And our Faith Formation program is fully staffed. The ministers are proud of the incredible work Sarah Devlin Trimble is doing. She brings a passion that is unmatched. She has so much creativity and has created so many opportunities for families to connect and build community. I'm excited about what the future holds. And let us not forget her assistant, Stacy, who brings a vibrancy and energy to the program. She's such a positive force. Let's give thanks for the rejuvenation of our Faith Formation program. But let me not forget, where are the pilgrims? I'm not talking about the Puritans. Remember, you all took a leap of faith. You went with Reverend Anastasia on a pilgrimage to Spain. For me, it would be if you're going to walk 70 miles. You took a leap of faith. And many of you reported it as life-changing. That's what this faith is all about, providing life-changing opportunities. We're also very proud of our adult Faith Formation classes that are going really well. We're getting more than 60 participants each week who are staying around and growing their souls, building community with eclectic and challenging programming. Under social and environmental justice, UUCA's theological and spiritual culture calls us to put our principles into action by creating and supporting systems that address environmental and social injustices. We should be proud of our work with Anne Arundel Connecting Together, which resulted just last week in the launching of a project called Turnaround Thursday. This movement will provide workplace training, motivational support, soft skills, and most importantly, jobs to many underemployed or unemployed individuals in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. This is a multi-million-dollar project paid for by our county, and it is the result of the work of ACT, our congregation, getting involved. You should be proud of that. Our legislative ministry is active in the State House, advocating for the things that we value, like climate change, criminal justice reform, immigration reform, medical aid for the dying, health care for all, reproductive rights, gun violence, economic justice, LGBTQ rights, and more. We give thanks for Ashley Egan, our coordinator, Jan Bird, Betty Crowley, Candy Clark, a tireless volunteer, and all of those of you who provided testimonies, including two of our youth, Elijah and Truth Hicks. And did you know that we provide food for a food pantry at Woodside Gardens, where so many do not have enough food or enough healthy food choices? Yes, we do. And that ministry continues despite some setbacks. We give thanks for Diane Ratcliffe and Don Patterson and Darrell Nash who keep that going. And did you know that this church has partnered with other organizations and churches to help an Afghan family survive after migrating to the U.S.? That's right, we pay their rent and provide medical and other support, and we thank Reverend Anastasia and Pat Flaherty and Lisa Flaherty. We are a generous community. We continue through our Share the Plate to give $20,000 or more annually to local nonprofits. We know that justice work requires time, talent, and money, and we're attempting to put our money where our mouths are. And I'm proud to say that UUCA sees about $100,000 flowing through its ledgers annually, money given to outside organizations and people who really need it. And some examples are the Minister's Emergency Fund, ACT, as mentioned, Lighthouse Shelter, Arundel House of Hope, endowment grants, racial justice support. I mentioned the refugee resettlement and our prison ministry. This is effectively a tithe of 10% for our congregation. This is impressive. I'm also glad to say that we're becoming more racially diverse as a congregation, or intentionally about becoming more racially diverse. We're not there yet, but that at our last board meeting, our 8th Principal Implementation Committee put forth a proposal that our board accepted, and this work will need your support by showing up in the days ahead. I like to say showing up is half the battle. This plan will provide healing and support to our people of color and will give you tools so we can move beyond white supremacy culture, so we can truly build a thriving, beloved community. I'm pleased to announce that we're having our first PLC brunch that will happen on March 19th. We have 45 RSVPs. This will be a pivotal point in our history, a new chapter in our racialized history. And I'm happy to say that we will continue having classes on race and ethnicity, including on March 19th, the same date as that brunch. There will be a talk about critical race theory, a very hot topic in education. So please come to learn more, to get more information. There's too much ignorance out there on this topic. Showing up is half the battle. I mentioned our prison ministry. This is something that's been important to us since 2007, and it's finally starting back up after the pandemic. We have many new volunteers. In the past, we have helped hundreds of inmates at the Jessup Correctional Facility to learn conflict management skills, to help them while they're incarcerated and afterward. We have transformed so many lives, and I'm glad this is getting started. A new energy has come to the program. We're excited about the possibilities. Under the larger UU movement, you should be proud that your ministers serve the Greater Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Anastasia as the chair of the UU Ministry for the Earth, and I continue my service on the UUA's President's Council. I serve also as a chaplain for the National PLC Support Organization, DRUM, and mentor a lay minister in Florida who is a person of color. Our church also continues a 25-year legacy with the UUA as an honor congregation, which means for 25 plus years, we have made our commitment financially every year to the UUA. That contribution from our operating budget this year is $45,876. Thank you. We are also featured in the congregation, in the UUA's, what's it called, National Book Read, Mistakes and Miracles, which features our chapter in our congregation in chapter 3, the longest chapter in the book. And we have a UUA article that is forthcoming about our adoption of the 8th principle. We are a congregation that is on the move, my friends. And finally, under church operations, infrastructure, financial stability, and support. Well, thankfully, we can expect the completion of our construction expansion project to be complete by the end of April. Hallelujah. And I'm so proud that we hired a contractor of color to do this work. I'm also happy that we're using a black bank, Harbor Bank, to finance this project. Our land dispute with our neighbor that has gone on for many, many years is finally resolved. And I'm happy to report that a committee of our members is seeking a realtor of color who will give us some options if we choose to sell that land and use the proceeds to pay off our bank loan, among other things, including, perhaps, finally demolishing the Foz House. I'm grateful and thankful for our new administrator, Mary Ann Stein, who brings much energy and knowledge to the job, as well as our skilled bookkeeper, Margaret Guerre. Your ministers expect that we'll be running a well-oiled machine, allowing us to effectively and efficiently manage growth and our ambitions as a congregation. I'm also pleased to say that last year, your generosity allowed us to fulfill nearly $600,000 of our pledge goal. You donated $596,885. That's almost 100% pledge fulfillment. Something we haven't done in many, many, many years. And this generosity, along with smart controls of our expenses, led us to have a surplus of $50,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're fiscally sound. Diane Moreau shared with me recently a copy of the original mortgage document from 1969 when we purchased this property. There were 5 couples, 10 individuals who co-signed our original mortgage. They put their names down on a $100,000 loan. I tacked it up on the back of the wall like the 95 Theses. I tacked it up. So you can look at it before you leave. And these pioneers exemplify what it means, literally, to build beloved community. They knew in their time, as we know in our time, that what we have is rare, a precious gift. There are no other congregations in Anne Arundel County that offer what we offer as a religious community, where skeptics, free thinkers, spiritually eclectic people can share and live their progressive values. We are rare and must cherish and take care of what we have. On this special celebration Sunday, let us remember all the good we have done and will do in the future. We have come back from pandemic and are thriving when so many congregations are dying and struggling. But like our pioneers, your sacrifice of time, talent, and treasure will be needed even more. Think about all that I have shared this morning as you consider your financial commitment this year. Think about what this congregation means to you and provides to your family. We are back to a better future. The sun is shining. The rain came and we endured. And this is your time. This is our moment to make real the promises of our faith. And lastly, I want to close and give a special thanks to our Stewardship Committee. Who have good food and a wonderful program set up for you after church, so please stick around. And I close with the words that we read collectively from Olympia Brown. I want you to hear her words again in the context of all that I have shared this morning. She said this: "Dear friends, stand by this faith, work for it and sacrifice for it. There is nothing in all the world so important to you as to be loyal to this faith, which has placed before you the loftiest ideals, which has comforted you in sorrow, strengthened you for noble duty, and made the world beautiful for you. Do not demand immediate results, but rejoice that you are worthy to be entrusted with this great message, and that you are strong enough to work for a great, true principle without counting the cost. Go on finding ever new applications of these truths and new enjoyments in their contemplation." May it be so. Amen.